Alright, so here we have common stress terminology. Our textbook defines stress as the collective physical and emotional changes experienced in response to a stressor. Some important things to keep in mind with stress is that it affects everyone at varying levels, and everyone also has a different response to stress. Okay, so here we have a term that's very closely related to stress, and that term is stressor. Now, the book defines stressor as a specific physical or psychological event, condition, or demand that triggers stress. So, as you can see, it's broken down into a psychological stressor or a physical stressor. An example of a psychological stressor, you got a big exam coming up, quiz, homework, maybe even have some stress with the relationship. It can happen. Then you have physical stresses. So, depending on what kind of job you're into, if you're doing construction work, maybe moving, you're going to be doing a lot of lifting, so obviously that's a physical stress. As well as if you're an athlete, you got a big game, that's physical stress. So, another really important thing to keep in mind, stress in general, is that some stressors you may be able to change, some stressors you might not be able to change, but you can always control your response to stress. Okay, so here we move on to another term, which is homeostasis. It's almost the opposite of stress. Well, as you'll see, the book defines stress as a stable state of physiological functioning actively maintained by complex biological mechanisms that operate via the autonomic nervous system. Now, in layman's terms, basically all that means is just the relaxed state, your functioning state, how you normally are when you're not stressed, how you normally are when you're going fishing, relaxing, doing whatever. Okay, so here we're moving on to a particular type of stress called acute stress. Now, the book defines acute stress as a state of stress experienced in response to an immediate perceived threat, real or imagined. So, an example of this is you witness a car accident, you have to act immediately to help someone. Or say the building you're in is on fire, you really have to get out. Or it could be something as simple as, you're driving down the road, you see a cop, you have that split-second reaction where you're like, oh crap, am I speeding? It's an acute stress. So basically, it's anything that's very short-term, a short-term stress. Now, something very closely related to acute stress is the fight or flight response. Now, the fight or flight response is defined as physiological changes in reaction to a stressor that prepare an individual for a physical response. So, basically, it's closely related to acute stress because the fight or flight response is actually a direct response to an acute stress. So basically, back to my example with the burning building. If you're in the burning building, you might have a fight or flight response, and that will help you escape the burning building. Now, another type of stress is chronic stress. Now, the book defines chronic stress as stress that lasts a long time or occurs frequently. So, a couple common types of chronic stress could be if you have a loved one with an illness that's been going on for an extended period of time, or another very common chronic stress is financial stress. So, you got bills to pay, you have mouths to feed. It's the way of the world, as they say. So, thank you very much.